The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters at Real Estate Marketing, Ardor SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate. I'm your host, Tim Calloway. We have a very special guest for you today from the great state of Pennsylvania, but formerly from the state of Florida, where I'm at, and Lusk, and is the owner of Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where she is, as I said, a native of Lancaster, but did get her license in the state of Florida. She has the mantra of people come first. She assures that her clients receive a unique degree of personal attention. And welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful today. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. So, reading your bio a little bit and getting some show notes and things like that and doing my due diligence. You're originally from Lancaster, and you had a stint, I guess, down here in Florida, and then you went back. Can you tell us a little bit about your story and how you got started in real estate?
Well, it's a great story. I'm from Lidditz, Pennsylvania. I graduated from the Penn State University main campus. And my first job out of college was as a TV anchor person at KOUS, KYUS, and KCTZ TV in Montana. And unfortunately, I hated it. So I came back home and I worked at Armstrong World Industries and Industry Products. Did sales of all the Armstrong products. And at the time we had carpet and furniture and floor tiles and insulation, ready to assemble furniture. It was a whole long list. And I started out with like 4 states, and then they kept adding states and customers on. And I really loved that. But corporate America at the time, I hate to say it, paid men so much more than women, even though our results were superior. Right. So at the time, I was engaged to somebody that was a car wholesaler. And he said, let's go to Palm Beach. And I said, why not? So we moved to Palm Beach, and I lived in Trump Plaza, and we wholesaled high-end cars. And how I got involved in real estate is one of my clients from another country said, and I love it here, find me a house. I said, well, I am not a realtor. I'm never ever going to be a realtor. It's 7 days a week. Yeah. And you never get a day off, which I was totally right. But I ended up going around with him and a realtor, and I loved it. And I could read people very well. So I said, you're going to buy house number 7. And he did. Wow. Because I knew what people wanted. And even when they didn't tell me what they wanted, I could figure out what they wanted. And then I was buying my own house, and God bless my realtor. I think I looked at 354 houses. So there's a special place in heaven for that person. Right. But ended up in a place in Jupiter called the Bluffs, and started up there at Gimmelstaub Better Homes and Gardens. And loved real estate, but still was doing the car thing. And I learned a lot from that experience and learned what I really had to do to succeed, because I did well, but honestly, I could have done a lot better. Yeah. But it was just the car business gave immediate gratification and real estate did not. Right. So ended up coming back to Pennsylvania and then moving to Brentwood, California, and working at Steve Taub Porsche Audi in Santa Monica. And that was a magnificent experience for me. I met so many amazing people, and California was great, but I knew it was the state with taxation and no representation. So I thought it was a good idea to move back to Pennsylvania. And in Pennsylvania, I came back and sold veterinary pharmaceuticals, which I loved because I have always had a bull terrier in my life, good, bad, or ugly. and did that, and then got back into real estate because real estate to me is the profession. If it's to be, it's up to me.
There you go.
And there's no limits. No one tells you you can't achieve this.
Right.
If you fail all on your own.
Yeah, very true. I mean, it's a singular situation, whether you're on a team or you're not. I know lots of realtors have been working with realtors for decades, and I know so many of them, they get into the business, they want to attach themselves to someone, and sometimes that's a good thing, right? I mean, sometimes they can learn a lot, but really the best way to do it is be your own person and put that, is like putting a shingle up on a wall and saying, this is my business. I'm an entrepreneur. Now, how do I go out and foster that business? Was that how, was that the way it resurrected itself with you when you came back from California to Pennsylvania?
Yes, I realized that at the time I was 30 years old, and I realized that I had to be a big girl.
Yeah.
And I was going to determine the rest of my life through my actions and hard work. So I really did invest in my business, and I did odd jobs to make my money to advertise. And one of my first successful ads was, I had this white bull terrier who was rescued named Lucky. And I had this ad on cable from my babysitting money. You don't have to be lucky to get your house sold. Lucky's been dead for decades.
Yeah.
But people still ask me how he is.
Oh, that's amazing.
He's like the oldest dog on the face of the earth.
Right.
But
he'll live in infamy.
He will. And Lucky was a rescue dog from Florida that was left for dead, he's the $1 million dog, built back to life. And I met him and it was love at first sight, but he was great for photos. He would actually pose, and he was so handsome.
Nice.
He was a white dog with black ears. And at the time, people all remembered Spuds McKenzie.
Sure.
So he was a catchy looking dude.
I am old enough to get both of your references, the $1 million dog reference, going back to the $6 million man, and the Budweiser Spuds McKenzie reference. So for those younger folks out there that are probably going, what, who is that? What are they talking about? Yeah, very popular, but that's awesome. So take us to today. So it's a fantastic story about how you got started. So, let's keep on that marketing trend a little bit. I talk to so many on a daily, regular basis about how they're marketing and what they're doing. And, a lot of them are still boots on the ground. And then a lot of them are their sphere, their referral base only. And then a lot of them are online. What tactics are you taking? Is it all of the above, or?
Oh my gosh. Well, when I started back in Pennsylvania, because I lived away from here for so long, people thought I wasn't from here, which isn't true.
Right.
Grew up in Lidditz, but I knocked on doors, gave pot holders out that said M&K Grable Realty, wrote handwritten thank you notes, and sat down and spent time with people face to face.
Right.
My business now, I'd say 95% of it is referral because I've been doing it so long, and I do put people first. I look at that I'm an expert problem solver because today there's a lot of problems.
Sure.
And there's obstacles. There's people not knowing, will they have a job? How's their health? There's just so much worry that you have to be an expert problem solver. And I do stuff online. Just recently, I started doing videos because I had a couple people that worked for me that no longer do. And they were like, oh, you don't know anything about doing a video. Watch me, sisters, because my videos are the real thing.
Right.
They're engaging. They're one take. There's no script. And whatever I say comes right from my brain to my mouth, which could be good or bad.
Sure.
But I love all of it. And I do keep in touch with customers the best I can. I have thousands of past clients, but I'm so blessed that so many of them refer me people. And I'm humbled and grateful that they still remember me and do that, because that's the lifeblood of my business.
Right.
Girls.
Yeah, I know a lot of other realtors that I will speak with, or agencies, or agents, or anyone in the industry. And there is a big shift to doing a lot more in the video side of it. Videos do get about 9 times the traction as just straight content and imagery. And everybody has a different way of doing it. I don't think there is just one way of doing it. You've lived on the West Coast. They have a totally different way of doing it there. I mean, I have one gentleman I work with on a regular basis. He actually hired a film crew that, and they actually were an NYU film crew, which was interesting because he's on the West Coast and USC is right there. But he has a film crew that actually makes movies, about the houses. And it's fascinating. It's fascinating. And then there's folks like yourself that are just, make the film and say exactly how they feel about what's going on. And people appreciate that as well, right? I mean, that's as transparent as you could be. And transparency, wouldn't you say, is very important in what you do?
It is, because people have to be able to trust you. But let's be honest, everyone wants to be entertained.
Yeah.
So if you don't capture their interest, they're swiping to the next thing. And I think that one of the things I like to do is just get a gut feeling and go with it. And I'm a very enthusiastic person. Yes, I am a former cheerleader. So it's go, rah,
Rah, rah.
But I really feel it. And when they do these videos for the home, everyone has almost like a different style, because every house has a slightly different essence and
Good
energy.
point.
And so sometimes I'm just very direct, like, oh, this has crown molding, chair rail, 3,600 square feet on a quarter acre. And others is, oh my gosh, this is magnificent. I feel like I'm in a Zen garden. And it just depends how that house makes me feel when I walk in the door. And enthusiasm sells. Like attracts like. So if I'm positive about a house, someone else is going to feel that way too. And I feel that has to carry over in your presentation, whether you're videotaping, showing, picking up the phone to a customer. And I will tell you this, yes, texting is a quick way to communicate, but wow, the power of picking up the phone and speaking to someone is unbelievable. And people say, well, how are you good at converting leads? I said, I do something absolutely magical. I dial my phone.
Right.
And then I call them and I talk to them.
Yeah.
Follow up. And how magnificent. I do what I say I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It is just earth shattering, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So,
it's very strong. I mean, say what you want about the digital age. I've never seen an app. Well, it happens. So I'm kind of talking out of line, but forgive me because I'm older. But I've never seen an app really buy and sell a house, right? And the bottom line is, no matter what Zillow or anybody else says, about, how they buy houses and resell them out on the market, which is a whole nother story. But, for the most part, it is a people transaction, right? I mean, it's generally the largest purchase people are going to make in their life on both sides. And I think anybody needs to be assured by an individual that it's going to go well. And I think that's sometimes lost, right? I mean, a little bit, and people feel like, well, I can find and get everything I need online, but the professionalism of someone like yourself, that's well worth what they're paying for your services.
well, and I say this, one of my clients recently moved to another state and was sending me a text last night that they can't believe the agent didn't see the layers of dirt and slime all over the house. And the smell. The smart phone can't smell that. Okay.
Right.
So if you have a cat allergy, and I've been in houses that they've had 10 cats and I never knew they were there. And I've been in houses where there's one cat and I'm itching, my eyes are watering, and I'm like, holy hell, I have to run out of here. So there's certain things that humans still serve a purpose on,
Right.
that your eyes and your ears and your feeling. And also, the home is such a personal thing. It is still one of emotion. It's like I tell people when they met their husband or their wife, they knew that was the one. If
Right.
you don't walk into the house and feel that, that's not your house. Keep looking, because there's always more. Every day
Right.
there's always more houses. And I think the approach to real estate is, this isn't a transaction. This is somebody's life.
Right.
That with their whole heart and soul, that's why they're getting up and going to work every day. That's where they're feeding their kids. That's where they're, hearing that a loved one died. It's their whole heart.
Right.
And you have to understand that it's more than the commission. It's so much more than that.
For sure. I think that's a great and valid point that should be, saying from the rooftops, I guess, is this is such an emotional time for everybody. And emotion doesn't mean negative. I'm not putting it in that light at all. It's just an emotional time. And people need handholding and reassurance, and need to know that someone's driving the vehicle that does it every day. That's a big thing of mine. It's like, I don't buy, well, I could, that's a different story, but I don't buy a house every day, right? I mean,
Right.
I don't go out and spend $1 million or whatever the number is on a house every day. You, on the other hand, on a daily basis, are involved in buying and selling whatever price range it is, a houses every single day. And I don't care what you do. I would rather have you on my team directing things than the person who does it 3 times in my whole lifetime, if that, right?
Well, and I've been very blessed. I was making a joke to somebody that I sell a lot of houses from a cow pasture. I was so honored. A couple of my friends in another state said, "Ann, open up Inman article about the #1 luxury agent in Pennsylvania." And I said, "Well, why would I do that?" And they said, "Because your face is on it and you're the one."
Wow.
And I'm like, but I don't live in like Philadelphia or Pittsburgh.
Right.
I'm in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. And wow, I said, that's a fantastic thing to wake up to, because I don't ever think of that. I don't even look at what I sell. And a lot of people put like America's 1,000 agents, top 250, top 150. I don't put anything like that on my email. You know why? Because the customer doesn't care.
Doesn't matter.
All they care about is, did I suit their needs? Did I take care of, and did I understand this is so important to them? They don't give any credence to, doesn't matter if I was number 94, 50, 100, they don't care. And they shouldn't care.
Right.
Because it's not about them. Everything needs to be about the customer, because they need to feel like they're the only client that you have right now.
Yes.
Because in their world, this is the only house they're buying right now.
Right.
So they need 100% focus and dedication to their mission, which is buying a house.
Yeah. It's great. That's sage advice. I know the area fairly well, just being from that area growing up, and Lancaster and Lancaster County and all that area is very historic in a way.
It is.
It's very historic. Do you find yourself? And I did look at all your listings, by the way. I'm always fascinated by who I talk to. Sure looks different than the Lancaster I know. I'm going to tell you that.
Oh, it is. When I was
Crazy.
growing up, like in downtown Lidditz,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, I must be, in just normal USA.
Yeah.
But we have rock stars visit. Lidditz is the coolest little town in America, named time after time, with the #1 beer bar, the Bull's Head, as in USA Today. And now I go, wow, how lucky am I to live in Lidditz and to sell homes around here. I mean, in downtown Lancaster, there is a piece of real estate I sold that was residential over $2 million. And I never in my wildest dreams dreamt that that would occur.
Wow. Yeah, it is amazing. Always growing up in the Midwest, Ohio, Wisconsin, I was in Maryland, all throughout that area, Connecticut. And it was very Norman Rockwell, and it still is, right? I mean,
It is
it
Mayberry. I always tell
Mayberry.
my friends from California, go, where do you live? I said, I live in Mayberry.
Yeah, for sure. And I long for it because I'm in West Palm Beach, or Palm Beach.
I lived there. I said, Trump Plaza, and I lived in 107 C Steps Court in Jupiter, Florida, and I loved it.
Yeah, Jupiter's wonderful. That's a whole nother conversation for us, maybe at another time. But yeah, it's wonderful here. It's not Mayberry, but oh no.
But the Breakers of Palm Beach is
The
heaven.
Breakers. I have stayed there a few times. I will say that prior to actually living here, my wife and I of 30 some odd years would come out here. One of the reasons we moved here, we would visit often. We stayed at the Breakers a couple of times, and I've been to Trump Plaza. It's a wonderful place, but it's not Mayberry. It's so different. And
it's not Mayberry.
Not
and the
Mayberry.
Fish in the little bar.
Yeah.
Looking at the
Very
ocean.
cool. It's
Let's
awesome.
talk about that. That's pretty
Yeah,
rock star, Tim. You'll have to go there today and have a drink in my honor.
I might do
So
that.
happy.
We were actually thinking, hey, what should we do tonight? Now you got me thinking. I'd actually like to go over there. I'm just right down the road. I mean, I'm not very far. Go over there, and there's a few suites there that actually, if you go on the balcony, jettison over, because it's the Breakers.
Wow.
Jettison over. There's a lagoon where you can dive and see sea life, and it's just such a nice view. It's been years since we've stayed there because we live here now, right?
Right, you're on vacation every day, Tim.
It's kind of.
That's sort of like this, but I love it there. I was there for New Year's Eve. I flew down by myself, and people are like, what are you doing? And I said, oh my gosh, I love it here. I used to go there all the time.
Yeah, it's a wonderful
In fact, I
place.
was at a video years ago, like the girl on the swing saying, welcome to the Breakers, and the lady.
Oh, wow.
I
love the Breakers.
Love the Breakers, and it's first class. And you know what? Going to the Breakers teaches you a lot about how people want to be served.
Oh, for sure.
They'll look you in the eye. They remember your name, and they want to serve you right now.
Right.
And I think in real estate, again, this is not an agent-centric business. This is a people-centric business. And if you can't be there to support the people that you are serving, then don't be in this business, because it's all about them.
That's great advice. I have 4 sons from 29 down to 22, and they're in all types of different things. One's getting his PhD down at the U in Miami, and the others are all working. But it's you try to pass that on, right? Be kind of a servant of people, and you'll always be happy. But I feel like, and we talked about it, and maybe we're just talking our age.
I'm not as young as people think I am. But
I'll say that.
I'll be 58 and I feel great. How about that?
I say the same. I'm 52, but people, it's just changed. That's all. I do some of these interviews. There are plenty of realtors out there that do very well, and mainly it's the market they're in, so like Beverly Hills, something like that, West Palm, right? And everything they sell is $15 million. So they get 1 sale a year or 2 sales a year, and they're, and I think that's great. That's good. That's their market. But the reality is, I think if you want to build a business like yours, like you've done, it's a long-term, boots on the ground relationship, business. And nowadays they call it Sphere, and that's fine. But it's a relationship business, and it always has and it always will be. That's the thing.
It will. And I joke with my kids a lot of times and say, God sees all.
Right.
But God sees all. So always do things that you're proud of.
Right.
And the other thing is people respect you more when you say, holy crap, I made a mistake.
Yes.
But here's how I'm going to make it right. because everyone makes mistakes. Everyone, holy crap, I can't believe I missed the radon date. Buy them a radon system, whether it's positive or not. Like,
Right.
do the right thing even when it hurts, because believe it or not, people remember a problem you've solved so much more than the perfectly seamless, amazing transaction you had.
Right.
They remember when you've done something great in a bad situation. They don't remember when everything was rosy, smooth, and beautiful. They
Right.
remember how you got them out of something that wasn't so pleasant.
Yeah, we learn more from our mistakes, right? I mean, those are the learning experiences, and there's been very few times that a mistake like the radon report. I mean, those are things that are going to get done. It's a slight. And the reason it resonates so much with me, it's interesting, and you brought it up. That's the first thing when I built my first home back in the 90s. My aunt, who is a builder in Texas, that is the first thing she bought me and sent it to me, like overnighted it to me. So, and I was like, huh?
What the heck's this?
I was like, what's this all about? I'm in my 20s. I'm like, what's this all about? But it's interesting. Yeah. Little things like that. It's important. It's important. Well, it's been great having you on. We're down to the wire here on time. How can people, folks get in touch with you if they want to make contact?
You know what? The best way is, even though I love talking to people, text me first, introduce yourself, and then I will call you back or say when I will call you back. And that number is 717-271-9339. And in my next life, I think I'm going to be a coach, because
There you go.
I feel that I have solid advice for people to build businesses that are successful and that withstand the test of time. And I love what I do. My son, Ken, has joined me in the business.
Nice.
And God bless that poor man, because he's got a lot to live up to. And but he is a fabulous young man. He's going to be 24, and he tells everybody he has 23 and a half years of real estate experience. And unfortunately for him, he does.
I love
He
that.
was in my arm, a few
Right.
hours old, and I had this client come in to write an offer. They did not care. He was in my hospital bed, no makeup, not looking very pretty, with this 10-pound newborn baby in my right arm, because I'm left-handed, signing a deal. So only a few hours on, he sold a house. So,
Look at that. Natural born real estate pro. I love it.
exactly.
You're giving him quite the legacy to live up to, but I'm sure it's going to work out great. Well,
He'll
I'm
probably
looking
be
for-
better than me. He's so
There you go.
talented.
Isn't that what we want for our kids anyhow, right?
Absolutely.
And it's been great talking with you today. I really look forward to the next time we can talk. Maybe we'll just maybe I'll start a West Palm blog or vlog, and we can talk on that all day.
Oh, that would be so much fun,
Would that
because
be fun?
I could tell you what not to do as a new real estate agent from down there. Like, trust your counterparts, because I'm so trusting. I'm from Pennsylvania, and that was like
Right.
truly Shark Tank.
Yeah,
So.
it's not just the water full of sharks down here, as we like to say.
Ooh, no. In Pennsylvania, though, people are nice. And
Yeah.
one thing
I miss that so much.
One thing I say to the agents in my office that also sell is, real estate agents are your clients too. The market won't always be like it is today, and people have long memories. Be respectful, be kind. There's no reason to yell or scream at each other. Seek solutions and resolutions. Everybody wants the same thing.
Excellent advice. Once again, you should be coaching. What are you doing? Get out of production, start coaching. People love it.
I'm selling. You got to listen to that, sweetheart.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for being on the show, and we'll talk to you soon.
Take care. Bye.